Thank you for having me here. I want to thank Renee for inviting Micron to speak in this exciting summit. So I'll move on to next slide here. This is a short video. So this is the punchline. Today Micron offers the best product in the market for HBM. Okay? And although we were not the first in the market, but we are the best product today with the lowest power consumption, with the fastest bandwidth, and also for the PIM. Okay? So I'll move on to give you a history of Micron. Micron was founded 45 years ago in the state of Idaho at Boise. And today, we have generated about 55,000 patents. We are in 11 we have presence in 17 countries, 11 manufacturing sites, and we are the Fortune 500 ranking company. Our revenues last year, with the COVID and semiconductor slowdown, was about 15 billion plus. The previous year was 30 billion, and this year we will close very strongly, very much. And I can't give you numbers because we just finished a quarter last week. So with that, we have 45,000 team members, as you can see, and we are all over the world. We are one of the few manufacturing companies, when you look for memory and storage, that has a global presence all over the world. And that was a very interesting fact. We have fabs in Japan, we have fabs in Taiwan, fabs in Singapore. In fact, 2 fabs in Singapore. And we have a fab in Boise, another extension of a second fab in Boise. And we have just announced 1 year ago an expansion in New York at Syracuse, another fab. So we are expanding, our markets because memory and storage is very much needed for the AI world. Okay? Now, in terms of presence of manufacturing sites, we are in Singapore, Taiwan, Xi'an, Malaysia, Japan. Okay? And Micron is one of the few companies that has got the presence of a captive fab in-house. So we do fabrication of wafers as well as advanced packaging in-house. Okay? Global Foundries, I think, is fabless at this point of time. Okay, but we have... Okay. So this is very important because having the fab, you can actually control a whole bunch of smart manufacturing within your company. Okay? We have just announced an expansion in Gujarat, and my team is actually leading the startup in Gujarat. We did the startup in Penang about 5.5 years ago. We have grown to 4,500 team members. We added 1,000 people a year, even during the COVID. And right now, we have already started shipping product out of India, okay, in a very fast pace. Now, if you look at it, data is actually the new currency of the world. And IR 4.0 is where you have automation that generates a whole bunch of data, and it is transforming the world because you have to digitize, and you also have to use IoTs to be able to run your smart manufacturing applications. And there's hyper-connectivity with the AI and analytics today. Now, memory is a fiber that connects our world. If you look at memory, memory is at work, it is at home, and most importantly, as what we say, is everywhere. If you remember the punchline that Intel had, Intel Inside, I would say Micron is everywhere. Okay. We serve 12 segments of the market today. One of the segments, which is automotive, where you have ADAS 2.0, ADAS 2.5, we have a 49% share of the world's market in automotive. And we are continuing to expand. And everyone needs memory, everyone needs storage. And the most important thing, especially when you do medical surgeries, you need to have low latency, high bandwidth and low latency. And the memory has got to be very, very reliable. Okay. Now, if you look at the role of memory in AI, we started with artificial narrow intelligence. Today, we are at the stage of AGI, Artificial Generative Intelligence, that requires deep learning and high-performance computing. So it's going to take us a full 5 years to get to AGI before we can get to ASI, Artificial Super Intelligence. Okay. So when you look at Artificial Generative Intelligence, what we have today, it is very much broad and human-like intelligence that is being used. It has got reasoning capability, and most importantly, there's intuition built in it. And most important, you will find there's some level of psychological and emotional understanding in AGI. In another 10 years, we will get to ASI. And in ASI, this is going to surpass all human capabilities in the future. And that's where supercomputing or quantum computing is going to come in. Okay? Now, if you look at technology innovation that's driving product transformation, system bandwidth is very, very important. Performance, how many gigabits per second, is also equally important. But most importantly, power consumption matters. If you look at the data centers that are opening in the whole world today, Japan is the first leading data center country, followed by India, and fast followed by Malaysia. You'll find a whole bunch of data centers coming in. And we need low power consumption, high bandwidth, and most importantly is performance, gigabits per second. Now, the memory and storage world has been in tandem with the semiconductor growth. It's very niche industry, very few players. And most importantly, we support memory, which is called volatile memory, that's called DRAM, and NAND memory, that is called flash memory, or non-volatile memory. Okay? Non-volatile is when you have battery power that is lost, your memory is still intact. But with volatile memory, when you lose battery power, the entire memory disappears, like Google search. Okay? I'll move on to this video on the opportunity of
every product line that we have, from smartphone to PCs to XR to automotive, is really benefiting immensely from the AI experience. So definitely our partnership with companies like Micron is going to be critical to bring these amazing experiences onto the device, but to then be able to have a very good experience for the consumer on the device.
Lenovo wants to be the most trusted partner to Micron. We really do want to solve some of humanity's and businesses' toughest challenges. When we look at the innovation that we're jointly developing together, like NVMe technology, memory solutions, starting to look forward at new technologies like CXL and HBM. And so when we look at some of the AI innovations that Micron and Lenovo are working to together, where are those areas in the marketplace where we can really add differentiation and uniqueness to solve some of these customer problems.
So one of the most important things right now is how do we make the AI, or any workload for that matter, efficient. As we validate these platforms with direct-to-chip liquid cooling or otherwise, overall consumption of power in the data center is going to reduce tremendously. So the collaboration between Micron and Micron is going to play a significant role in terms of improving the data center efficiencies.
So with that, let me give you the hierarchy of memory and storage. I used to work in a hard disk drive environment when I started off as an engineer. And we used to build the heads, composite and film. We used to build the drives using the media, the actuators, and head stacks. Now, that memory today is right at the bottom where we have, the HDD, and below that previously was the tape and optical drives. I have had experience in building all these drives many, many years ago. And today I'm in the semiconductor world where SSD, solid state drives, and memory go in tandem. Now, in order to do high bandwidth memory, the NVIDIA today is, tearing up the whole world with their graphical processor unit. We need main memory, we need performance and mainstream SSDs, and we also need capacity SSDs in order to support HBM3 or graphics memory. The main memory and performance memory and SSDs and capacities are all done in Malaysia today. Okay? So we are very fortunate. In the last 5 years, we've been able to ramp up the teams where we're actually shipping first-to-market products in the world today out of Malaysia. Okay? Now, HBM3, talk of the town, but ours is called HBM3E, which is energy efficient. It handles more than 1.2 terabyte per second bandwidth. It's 24 GB in terms of capacity. And most importantly, is 2.5x picojoule per second, per watt consumption, or 30% lesser power consumption. Power consumption matters. Some data centers are moving to what we call two-phase immersion cooling, using ketone liquids to reduce the heat loads. But we are already intercepting without the need for these kind of liquids to come in place. Today we ship the 8 high, or what we call the 8 stack memory. The center of the chip is the NVIDIA chip that is there. And most importantly, these processors require the peripheral memory that I showed you in the pyramid chart. Without that, AI cannot work. And that's why it's so important that we are ready now and poised to handle the AI where we are in the generation of AGI today. Now, in order to run AI effectively, these are the peripheral products that we need. Of course, it starts together with the processor that supports the memory. We need high performance graphics memory. We also need low power memory. We need compute DRAM, DDI5 memory. We also need high performance memory for new data center here. And high performance data center SSDs. And high capacity data centers, SSD, and of course with flash storage. All of these, the last four, are built in Malaysia. So we have a team that is very, very focused, technically competent, and we're able to build within 5 years the leading edge products. And that is why there was a question raised, the future of work. How do you prepare for the future of work? We need to train. We have an onboarding program. 65% of our hires are new college graduates. 65%. We have a 180-day training program for these new college graduates. I teach once a month to the new college graduates in-house. And this is how we shorten and we close the gap very, very quickly, because bringing the new college graduates is one of the best things that we ever done in Micron. And next year, our goal is to reach 80% of new college graduates. Okay. Now, our presence in Malaysia, as you can see, we started in Muar. It was an acquired site. It was a brownfield site. We acquired Muar. That was purely a chip packaging factory. Today, we do a 16 die stack for NAND in Muar. We also do NOR products at Muar. In 2018, there was an announcement in Penang. I was hired in 2019, February, and we started the new greenfield launch. While we were bringing up the construction in our Batu Kawan facility, we took a lease site. We hired 1,200 people within a year, and we started qualifying the products with our customers. Our Batu Kawan site is a 52-acre land, 1.5 million square feet of space, and most importantly, today houses 4,500 people today. Okay? And we've just expanded 2 phases, and we're capable of expanding a total of 8 phases today in our facility. Now, one of the most important things in Micron, although we have invested about $1 billion USD for the first building, and now another $1 billion for the next building that has just come up last year, that's the 45-year celebration where we opened up the second building with the Chief Minister. We also have kicked off the first industry-driven healthcare, childcare systems nationally. So that was the first thing that we working with Talent Corp and also State of Government of Penang, because we hired women who went off the grid starting in January 2020, and we wanted to prevent women from going off the grid. So we have this industry childcare system that we have created. Most recently, after 1.5 years of working with the Army, we have brought in veterans from the workforce. Because in Malaysia, we only have 30 million population. We need workforce. We have people with disabilities working in our team. We got 56 of them. We are trying to go up to 100 by next year. We have brought in Army veterans who have 20 years of experience, who we are putting through a 90-day program, working with Talent Corp again. I'm a chairman for Talent Corp, Next, working as a board of director for Talent Corp also, and my agenda for Talent Corp is driving the national talent agenda within the country. So we also have MOUs signed with the universities and polytechnics, and most importantly, as part of sustainability and resilience, Micron Foundation has funded the Penang State for Resilient Cities Network to ensure that we are able to ensure the state is able to run, without any form of environmental risk. And this $1 million that was funded is also to train and empower the municipalities with the skills. And we also have a person in the state who Kon Jagdeep is well familiar with, because he attended this function. And this is a part of sustainability and resilience that we're also doing, as part of community care. Now, our focus in Malaysia, apart from manufacturing, where we get a wafer, we build in the NAND, the DRAM packages, we vertically integrate them into products, where we're able to use SMT lines, create the products for SSDs, as well as compute DRAMs. We have also attracted R&D to our facility. We started with Center of Manufacturing Excellence, and now we are headed towards the Center of Competence. In the Center of Competence, we have already set up a team for smart manufacturing a couple of years ago. We have a test solution engineering where the codes are also being developed in-house. We've got product engineering, package development engineering, global quality, and most importantly, we have our advanced labs that we've invested more than USD 17 million, where we can do package reliability in-house. So that's how we are able to get the time to market very, very fast. We have also attracted value-added services, like global finance has moved now into Penang. We also have the regional IT, who is also in Penang, And most recently, we also attracted people services or human resource services into Penang. This will conclude what we call the center of competence very, very quickly. So we build the ecosystem within Penang. Now, if you look at memory, memory drives the need for more data analysis at Micron. As I spoke earlier, we have an enterprise class system that we take RMS, recipe management systems, we combine them with fault detection control systems, combine them with auto defect classification systems, and Orion systems that stop the tool the moment a maverick is spotted. A maverick is something that is going out of control, and the tools are stopped immediately. While we are not 100% done yet, but we have started this work almost 3 years ago. And this is very important to have all the tools, because you have the highest yield possible, highest quality possible, low cost, and most importantly, you're able to